That's related to this next one I hear all the time. Well, John, I'd rather be tried by 12 than carried by 6.
The Black Arch Protoss holster is the only hybrid-like holster that I can recommend. It does everything that a holster needs to do and is great for strong side carry. They're part of our holster consortium. Go check them out at the link in the description.
Do you know who says that? People who have never been tried by 12. Now, I get the heart of this that says, I'd rather face a trial than die. Okay? Maybe. The reality is maybe. Life is full of risk. Every time you get in the car, is there a risk you could die? Yep. I've been rear-ended by a drunk driver. Not too far from having killed me. Thankfully, my injuries weren't too terrible. I just blew out a couple discs in my back. Just cost me my Navy career. Not the end of the world. I can find a new job. Okay? A couple of back surgeries. Kind of sucked, but whatever. But man, if the facts had been just a little bit different, he'd have killed me dead. All right? And again, facing the 600-year-old dragon sucks. Okay? Now, I'm gonna show you a case here. This particular case, out of, oh gosh, Steph, do you remember on this one? Was this Philly or was this New Jersey? I want to say New Jersey too. I'm sorry, forget me on that one. But what you're going to see here is two roommates in this, it's kind of like a group home, and they're going to get after each other and get mad at each other. And then one of them is going to use his cane and start beating on the other one. Okay? Well, that's bad. You ought not to beat on each other with canes. Agreed? Is a cane a deadly weapon? Yeah, it'd put you in the hospital, right? It could end your life. Okay, fine. But now I want you to watch what happens here. Okay, he's coming in. They're getting frustrated at each other a little bit here in a sec. Gonna grab his cane. Sucker, bam. Why, bam. That's bad. Thankfully, they're both fairly old, and so they don't fight real good. I mean, you figure somebody with a cane, not gonna be a great fighter. It's like, dude, get off me, bro. So he finally knocks him down. That's good. He's gonna whoop on him a little bit. Okay, whatever. Stop that eventually, but you hit me with your cane. I'm gonna whoop your butt a little bit. So he's gonna go over and grab his cane, so he can't whoop on him with it anymore. Nope, don't pick up the chair, buddy. So now they're back to arguing at each other. Now a couple of minutes are gonna go by. You can actually watch on the timestamp here. Sped it up. Yeah, I mean, he's mad. I mean, do you blame him for being mad? Dude, just whoop on him with a cane. So now our guy's going to go back into the other part of the house. And now our guy goes and gets his gun out of his bag. What? You still got problems? Bang. Now, his argument is, hey man, he took my cane away from me. I was sure he was going to beat me with it. I think you all saw that and went, nope. That's bad juju as a defensive shooting. Okay? You're going to face the dragon on that. You're going to move from the halfway house to a state-sponsored gated community. Prison food sucks. Okay? Prison food sucks, and the company is worse. They call prison crooks you for a reason. And if you don't consider yourself a hardcore crook, you do not want to go to Crooks U. Okay? Because you will be what they call food. Right? That's a pretty bad one. We have another one here. This one, very famous case out of Oklahoma. This is a pharmacy. I apologize that this one was filmed on a potato, but it's old. It's out of the 90s, okay? So what you're gonna see here is a couple of guys who come in here with guns to rob this pharmacy. This pharmacist, on the other hand, is a fairly accomplished shooter. And he's got himself a Lance Thomas level setup. Anybody know the name Lance Thomas? That's an old school guy a watchmaker out of Los Angeles who was in like 5 gunfights. This guy's got multiple guns stationed in his pharmacy. Okay, ready to rock. Now watch what goes down here. So watch the dudes come in and rob the joint with guns up. They're going to be like, yo, give me all your stuff. I want fentanyl and I want money. Our pharmacist, on the other hand, goes, nah, I don't want that, pulls his gun, goes to work, skins that Roscoe, drops the first guy right here. Second guy runs off, he goes and runs after him. Empties his revolver on him as he goes out the door. Now, the other guy's still sitting here, laying down here, moaning. So he goes back to the back, gets another gun. Gets another gun, comes over here and shoots him twice more. And was convicted of murder for that. And the DA said his first shots were clearly justified. I don't even care about him shooting at the other guy running down the street, which he might have cared about that, but he chose not to. But those 2 shots are murder, and the jury agreed. Would you rather be tried by 12 than carried by 6? Well, I'd rather be neither. And in order to do that, I got to make good moral decisions. Another famous one, this one's been on the channel as well. This one's in Florida. Okay? What we're going to see happen here is I want you to notice here, right here, this car, oh boy, I almost fell over. This car right here is being driven by the girlfriend of a man named Marcus McLaughlin, okay? And they're in a handicap parking spot, but they don't have a handicap decal. And Marcus and their 6-year-old have gone inside the store here to get some sodas and some snacks. What's gonna happen right here is you're gonna see that car come in, and that car is being driven by a man named Michael Draka, okay? And Michael, first of all, has a very problematic social history and social media history of racist statements. Second, so first lesson, don't be a racist. Secondly, his mother uses a handicap placard, and so he gets particularly frustrated when people are using handicap spots without a placard. So he's gonna take umbrage. So you're gonna watch him get out and start yipping at her. So he's going back to look at her plate. She doesn't have a plate. So he's going to come up and start yipping at her that she should get herself out of that spot. And she's like, I don't know what you're talking about, bro. Get out of my face. I didn't mention, by the way, that Marcus and his girlfriend are black. Okay? Now, Marcus is going to see that from inside the store, and he's going to run out here and see what's happening. And there's no words exchanged. He's going to push him down. That's wrong. Just going to walk right up to him and push him. Now, Draka then draws a pistol, points it at him. McLaughlin starts to back away, and he shoots him in the chest and kills him dead right there. What do we think? Rather be tried by a 12 here or carried by 6? So in Florida, they have what is commonly called a stand your ground hearing, but it's actually an immunity hearing. It's just the words stand your ground are wildly misunderstood and not well used, okay? I would say this. Every attorney I know tells people, you see him get up real easy, right?
Yeah, he's also waving.
Oh, yeah, he's also waving a gun around.
Yeah.
So that immunity hearing failed. The immunity from prosecution hearing failed. And Michael Draka here was convicted of voluntary manslaughter and is currently serving a 20-year sentence. Okay, currently serving a 20-year sentence because the jury said, what McLaughlin was guilty of was a simple assault. So he knocked him down. Michael Draka is not a protected person. He's not an old man. Did you notice that when he got up, he didn't even have to put his hand down to get up? He just stood right up. He's in healthy shape. Okay? He's not a medically frail person or anything like that. So he pushed him down, and that was assault, and it was wrong. And had he responded appropriately, then McLaughlin probably would have been convicted of assault in that case. And when he draws the gun and points it at him, he sits there for about a second and a half and points that gun at him. And it's not until McLaughlin starts to turn away from him that he shoots him. That second and a half was really important to the jury. Sir?
The fact that he initiated the verbal confrontation with the woman, does that
Hugely important. Because when you are the instigator of an incident, then you lose the right to self-defense in that incident. And in the jury's mind, him initiating the contact and being a juror. And let me tell you, the prosecutor was able to file what they call a 404 motion. So usually under federal rules of evidence 404, your previous acts are irrelevant and not admissible in court. But that can be overcome. File the motion 404 to include all of Drake's social media history, including all his use of racial slurs. You think your social media history won't get shown in court? You're darn right it can. So again, the myth here is that as long as I am in fear for my life, I'm good. Drake has said he was in fear for his life. But he didn't have objective, reasonable evidence to back that up, that he was actually at fear of his life. Now, I know I see people all the time, they put themselves in that place and they say, my God, I would have done the same thing. If your facts are significantly different. I'm a 78-year-old man with, a really bad neck. That changes things a good bit. Those facts change things, okay? Because it's you in your circumstance and situation, as it were. Ma'am.
So it's not considered initiating when you break the law at the park in a place that you're not allowed.
So at most, that initiation, so you ask if it was initiation to park in an illegal spot, that is at most a civil infraction. So parking in a spot that you shouldn't be parked in is at most a civil infraction. So it's not even really breaking the law. It's an infraction, it's not a crime, okay? And so was it a crime for him to yip at somebody? No, being a jerk is not illegal. But it is escalating the conflict. And so again, the instigator, the provoker, the one who initiates the conflict is generally seen as the bad person. In this case, the jury said, dude, Drake, you're a jerk. You initiated a conflict you had no business initiating. And in their mind, you were looking for a reason to shoot somebody. And just because you found one doesn't mean we're going to let you get away with it. So they didn't convict him of murder. And we see this with juries all the time. They're like, well, it wasn't murder, but we're going to get you for something because what you did was a mess and was wrong, and we want to punish you. So they didn't get him for the murder charge. They got him for the lesser included charge of voluntary manslaughter. Madam CEO.
I was just thinking something we never brought up in a seminar before. If she had been carrying a good OC spray, as aggressive as he was, because multiple people used that story and said, dude, he is screaming at her, she likely could have solved the whole problem herself.
I will say this all the time. We see this all the time. I carry OC spray. Okay, I carry a less lethal tool. I think every self-defender should carry a less lethal. I carry a Palm OC every day. In this case, had she, he's yelling at her and all that stuff, could she reasonably say, man, I was sure that guy was going to whoop me and we were in trouble? She hits him with the hot sauce and then he goes, wah, and hecks off. And then you call the cops, of course, right? I'm sure this guy, started harassing me about this parking spot. Worst that's going to happen to her, she's going to get a ticket for the parking spot infraction. Solve that with OC spray, her boyfriend doesn't die. We've seen several uses of deadly force that are currently in prosecution that had the person earlier used OC and they were justified in doing so and would have been justified in doing so, wouldn't have had the problems. So that does happen. Sir?
What about step B? Gets pushed down and he squirts him with pepper spray.
So Drake pulls out absolutely. Somebody is physical on you. If he had OC sprayed McLaughlin, completely, totally okay. This guy just pushed me down. Now, I don't love pepper spray after the physical aggression has happened because it's probably already in process, but it wouldn't have been wrong. For sure it would have been. I don't even mind if he had, given the fact, hey, he pushed me down, he's big, he's strong, I pulled my gun out and said, get away from me, dude. Probably okay. Probably wouldn't have been charged for that. But the fact of the matter is he pressed that gun out, waited a second and a half, and then shot it.